Hi. How you doing, Richard? I'm finally feeling a bit better. I had to take a little nap, but I'm feeling okay now. The cold weather is really kicking my butt, though. Hey, Pappy, how's it going? Hey, Marie. Hey, Chris. Yeah, I'm really feeling a lot better tonight, finally. I promised I'd say a few words about what happens to me, but honestly, I have trouble with extreme weather. Um, there are things that happen when it gets very cold or very hot. It gets very hard for me to adjust to it. I have a couple of things going on. Hey, Pam, I am. I have a couple of things going on. The two worst are absolutely the worst is the fibromyalgia. I don't talk about it very much. And people were saying, worried, and you got to get a get to a doctor and everything. I have a feeling not much has changed really. As a matter of fact, I'm better than I have been in a while. I mean, even this is better than I was 2 years ago. Um, but by far, the worst issue is fibromyalgia because every time you think it's gone, it's not. I mean, um, and I'll talk a little bit about SADD, which depression also wipes you out. Here in Ohio is a very bad area for SADD because we don't get enough sunlight even in the summer. We don't get as much sunlight as everybody else, and we have to use supplements. It may be part of the problem here. Um, I don't think it's all of it by far, but it may be part of it. Yeah, I don't know much about Raynaud's, but I do know that all of the ones that, well, let me think about it now, because I don't want to say the wrong thing, huh? Well, but it seems to me that the ones that affect the immune system, that are dealing with your immune system, those are really subject a lot of times to the weather. It makes you way more sensitive to the weather than you normally would be. Hello, Micah. How you doing? Good to see you, sweetie. Good to see all of you. Like I said, sorry about the last few days, but I mentioned before, I have fibromyalgia. I also have every symptom of problems with my thyroid. Um, so, I supplement like crazy and try to keep happy. But SADD, seasonal affective disorder, it comes around in the winter to knock you in the head too. Um, it piles up on you. It's just when I was younger, I didn't notice this stuff as much. As time goes on and things progress, it becomes more of a problem. But on the other hand, I don't really know of any particularly older shaman over 30 who don't have some kind of chronic illness. Of course, most people, anyway, anymore, once you get to middle age, you've got some kind of chronic illness. But almost every one of us has something we're fighting for years. Now, I think my friend Paul just finally got over his. Now that he's 70, what is he now? He's in his 70s. He finally got over his. He finally fixed his, but I'm like, God, I hope I don't have to wait that long. Hey, Olin. I don't talk about it much because really it's depressing. And I don't want you guys to worry unduly because there's no point in it, in worrying too much. There's stuff that I am gonna, be fighting through maybe for a while. I lived in a horrible place. I thought I was gonna die about 2 years ago, before I moved here. The reason I moved here is because I lived in such a horrible place. I lived in toxic mold for 15 years. Who's Georgette? Did I miss somebody? Hi, Olin. Oh, hello. Hello, Georgette. Ah, yes, I did miss somebody. It's hard to get enough sun here in Ohio. And there's a lot of other anomalies here. So really, I'm doing so much better than I was a while back. I mean, this is better. Now, you can imagine if this is better, what was it like at the old place? But yeah, I really think I'm lucky to be here because the other place had black mold and I was there for 15 years. It's probably going to take a little while for me to get everything out of my system. And I know it made the autoimmune stuff worse. And I'm lucky I can breathe. I really am. I mean, I don't even know when I think back on it, I don't know how I survived the place. I really don't. I've said it before. I didn't go into every detail, but it was so difficult there. And my health deteriorated very rapidly there. So, hey. Oh, somebody. Hey, Lisa. Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I'm kind of waiting for Ben to come in because he kind of led me to talk about this SADD and some things that I do about it to get myself out of it because it's really prevalent. I guess we have a lot in common with places like Rhode Island and other places that don't get enough sun. And that may be part of what might be part of Ohio's problem too. I mean, just in general. But hey, I feel great this moment, but there is a thing I do want to say with fibromyalgia. You got to understand, there is a thing called fibrofog. Happens with the autoimmune diseases. But if you have fibromyalgia, they call it fibrofog. And it is the weirdest thing. It will just do the weirdest things to you. It's you just become so blonde. Yeah, not being able to get much done in the winter. I try and keep busy indoors. It's helped me a bit to have this project to do. Um, designing these EMF decreasing clothes has been a good thing for me this year to have. I find myself whistling and smiling while I come up with ideas for it, and reminding me of my old days when I used to design stuff, because I was an award-winning designer. I mean, I actually won awards. And it's been a long, long time since I've designed anything. And so this is actually nice to get back into that a little bit, and it's going to help me up. Yeah, doing the vacant stare, the weather. Yeah. The fibro fog is the weirdest. It's like I'll know that it's hit me. I don't always know that it's hit me until something lets me know. And usually what lets me know, it goes like this. I try to read something and I could even read it back to you and say all the words, but it doesn't matter. I still don't know what it says. So I can read the label on something and have no idea what it says, really. I read a paragraph. What does that mean? I could read what Lisa just wrote, makes me zone out thinking and doing the vacant stare, and I'd be there like really struggling to figure out what she's talking about, even if I read it back to you. Thank you, Georgette. If you're talking to me, thank you. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to take a lot of vitamin D. I do accidentally skip some once in a while when I'm busy. I take a lot of supplements. I guess what a lot of people would think of as a lot of supplements, and when I miss them, yeah, I screw myself up if I miss them. Um, it SADD is something I have to, but depression and anxiety, I have had to fight that my whole life. So, and SADD, seasonal disorder, and holiday depression. And a lot of my physical stuff was where I lived. All the places I lived, none of them have been very good. Yeah, we're not very far away from spring. I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, you have the comprehension issues with reading. Yeah, isn't it weird? Because I'm a reader, I used to be anyway. I stopped reading for a while because there was no point in it. It's really bad. When you can read a paragraph over and over and it doesn't really make much sense to you, there's really no point in reading. And so this whole business of taking our higher brain function, of screwing with it, yeah, it really bothers me. Oh, you think your allergy is acting up? Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Georgia. You are, see, that's going around, Marie. All of us, I think just about all of us going down the line have had that. Is your headache better, though? Did we get everything? I had to get a little animal off of Marie. I wanted to go into that a little bit, too. I want to go a little bit into these creatures because yeah, Georgia, you know what? Lisa, of all the things I miss my mind the most when when it leaves. I really miss it. Oh, a poodle allergy. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, you got to be very careful with depression. It will really mess up a lot of areas of your life. And like I said, I titled it this way tonight because Ben said something. Ben almost got into it with Lucky last night on Paisley's show. Oh, here I go, yawning. Yeah, there's something that's really seems to be going around. I don't think it's like a virus or something, but it's like an energy or something. I find so many people are just having trouble. They get uncontrollably sleepy. I will get uncontrollably sleepy times when it's just really hard. Oh, yeah, allergies are really. Well, Ben is a newbie and he admits it. And he doesn't know much. He admits it. The problem, I think, part of it is he's very plain spoken. He is not like people expect spiritual people to be. To me, it's kind of refreshing. He says right's on his mind, exactly what is on his mind. You don't have to guess around with him, okay? He's that kind of guy. I don't necessarily see this as being a bad thing. Actually, in a way, I got to tell you, the New Age movement and a lot of the spiritual groups and stuff, not only are a lot of them smile to your face and talk behind your back, but a lot of them are very judgmental. And it seems like almost everybody who talks about killing your ego has a huge ego. So really, I don't, you know, although he can be, let's just say, to me, I can handle him. He's just a different kind of person. But he's trying. I think he's sincere. He's not really trying to be a problem. He's just asking a lot of questions, doesn't know what he's doing. And we've got to be prepared because there may be people come in like that. we don't know what all we're going to get here. And that's another thing I want to talk to you about is I'm going to be separating the channels pretty soon. I'm going to be inviting you to a new channel, to another channel of mine, to do our circles. And then this one will go into, we'll just have informational stuff. Like tonight, we'll be talking about SADD. We won't get political. We're not going to get too personal. We'll just talk about something so that we can have more people in here and not have to worry about poodles, okay? Over in the other one, we're going to be getting together around the campfire. We're going to be able to get personal, okay, and do whatever we need to do there. So this channel I will be on probably only a couple days a week. We'll be over here for anything deeper. Will be on the other channel. And I will pretty much leave it up to people to invite other people over there, because probably the way YouTube has been, I probably won't get very many suggestions over there. I don't get suggested much. Hey, Ken. Oh, your head is hurting again? Marie? Do I need to look at it again? Oh no, her head is hurting again. I'm sorry, Marie. I'm going to have to take another look at it and see what's going on then. We're going to have to help you. I'm sorry that times are so crazy different. Really. I mean, that's part of the problem, is our timing is so different. Hey, good night, Mary. I had to take some off Marie. She's, yeah, the creatures. I should talk about that. Like I said, I'll be talking about that before too long. I haven't quite decided how we're going to do this yet, but I'm probably going to move you guys and most of my videos, of our videos, probably move them over to the other channel and just leave in a lot of informational stuff over on this channel. I hope you feel better, dear. Oh, Etri. Okay, yeah. What's going on with Etri? Is everything okay with Etri? Oh. Oh, really, Ken? Hmm. You know what? That was happening in Heather's neighborhood for a while. Houses were going up. And then another Chris I know had that for a while. It seems like it'll be in a place for a while and then it'll stop. But well, in a poorer neighborhood especially, you will have this problem if people are making meth. They'll often burn a place down making meth. And if they live in an apartment building, they'll usually displace everybody from the apartment building making meth. Meth is one of the worst things anybody ever came up with. It toxifies everything. We had it at our building. I found out after the fact. It might be part of the reason I'm sick too. I mean, that stuff is very, very toxic. That might have been why that building was so freaking toxic. Somebody in the upstairs, I found out later, could have killed us all. And they were making meth up there. It is a horrible, horrible problem. Oh, you'll message me on the MeWe? Okay, hang on. Oh, so you think this was a piss off kind of thing, like somebody pissed somebody off and the guy who was living there has vanished. That doesn't sound good. I gave her my address. I gave Lucid my address. She still didn't see my address. Yeah, be careful around there, dear. So you live in a better area and you're having this. Well, it probably isn't meth then. It's probably something else. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Well, if it's a rich area, that isn't it then. But oh, okay, Micah. Well, then we have to do that. Yes, we will have to do that. How they live right next to a big cell tower. Georgette, you know Etri? Where do you know which program do you know Etri from? Oh. Yeah, we got to take care of Etri. Oh. Hey, Georgette, what program? I'm just wondering because I always wonder where people find me because I don't get suggested too often. Which program did I meet you on, or did we meet you on, or did you just get suggested? Oh, she got you on the channel. Okay, so I was thinking because a lot of times people drift over here from either, I'm just kind of trying to keep track of it. Is it, you know, usually SOR, Paranormal Portal? I don't think I've had anybody come over from Paisley's yet, but Max's. People sometimes come over from Max's. So yeah, people drift over from other shows mostly because I don't get. I'm just wondering because I don't get suggested anymore. Apparently, I don't come up in your suggestions anymore. And that's something I got to handle, guys, because really, we need more people. I mean, this is just, we're a small crew, but a mighty one, but yet still, it'd be nice to have some more people. So, oh, okay. Love you too, Drake. Good to see you, sweetie. Well, Georgette, I'm glad you made it. Squatch, where's the Squatch? Who's the Squatch? Where's the Squatch? Yeah. Uh, that way we don't have to worry so much about every new face we see in here being something harmful. Because we have, but really for Georgette, I recalled the name, but I couldn't recall where I've seen you. So I was just asking. It seems to me like I have seen you around though. So, talking of channels, Squatch channels. Yeah, I'm not on too many Squatch channels. Not very much. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I gave Lucid my address. So let me double check and see that I did. Let me double check, Micah, because I have. So, Marilena, she needs a lot of help. She is in a really dangerous place. Her location in the world is extremely, extremely dangerous. I mean, talk about a bad neighborhood. And I mean, she lives in a place where racism is just fine. And she is on the menu as far as people hate because of her skin color. It's a very racist area. And I'm not going to call it reverse racism. I'm going to call it racism because there's no reverse about it. The reverse of racism would be, I love you because I love everybody because we're all different races. That would be reverse of racism. Okay, no, it's not reverse racism at all. It's plain old flat out racism. So I won't use that term. Oh, you're welcome, Georgette. Marilena, she lives in South Africa. And in South Africa, if you have white skin, you are the enemy to a lot of people. That's what she says. And there are places that are like that. Well, it's not here. It's not the US and it's not Canada. It's a lot different. Barry has a date. That guy and his killer nose hairs. The tall hair lady. Tall hair lady. Okay. Yeah, so it's very hard to live in her area. She's also in an area where demons are openly known about by the police. I mean, these creatures exist. These demonic creatures run around freely. They can't do anything about them. The police can't do a thing about them. And actually, nobody talks about it, but everybody knows about it, kind of like UFOs around here and Sasquatch and some people. I mean, in national parks, I have been in many. The park rangers will often talk about Sasquatch, act like they're making a joke. They're not really making a joke. They know about Sasquatch, okay? They know about it. Over in her place, they've got people who send demons, and they know about it. And there isn't anything they can do. There you go. That's it. He's got to keep his nose hair groomed. So yeah, it is the white farmers are really a target over there. Any white person is a target over there. It is not America. Okay. And people think they're in the right for that. Right. They don't talk about Sasquatch much, but if you start to really talk to one, they will tell you when you see one of these structures, oh, yeah, that's Sasquatch technology. And then they'll laugh like they're kidding, but they're not kidding. They're not kidding. They've just learned to talk about it in such a way that you will take it as a joke. But in Marilina's country, they take demons are just what they have down there. Black magic is everybody knows it exists. Nobody doubts it. They they deny it sometimes that it's a problem, but everybody knows it's real and it exists. So it's like the people in the Great Lakes Triangle who wave at the UFOs but don't report them because why bother? It's not going to be taken seriously. Nothing's going to be done because you know why? They can't do anything about it. What are they going to do about it? You know, over there, the police can't do anything about it. Over in the Great Lakes Triangle, the police can't do anything about it. Nobody can do anything about it. So they just, no, it does, no, that's ridiculous. Except, yeah, everything exists. And I guess over there, though, the police will they do keep a list of people who will uncurse you. So, actually, you'll get a list of magical practitioners that will take the curse off. And it's sort of like for them, it's like pest control. It's like I got a problem with, XYZ. Well, here's an exterminator. Except these things can kill you. So the stuff that they have over there that the black magicians send, this stuff can kill you. It's great. It's lovely. She comes in a bit. She needs out of there. Yeah. Yeah, she needs out of there. And who knows what the headaches are actually from. Could be strictly fit. There could be a lot of it physical. Now, the creature that was on her, those Okay, I'm going to try and explain this. It's more of the creatures that are misplaced. It's something that's not from here. I mean, right up the pike, I got to tell you, we're in a lot of trouble here. Our partitions between what we could call, and we really don't have the right terminology. Not terminology that people really understand, right? We don't have good terminology for this. But there's this realm and there's other realms. You might want to call them other dimensions. And there are partitions between them that keep us from all blending together. Boy, it is so, I tell you, sometimes it gets so staticky in this place. There is so much static in here tonight. Oh, yeah, always saving a child from witch doctors in Tanzania. Yeah, see, it's not like here. Although there are evil magic users here. And some people know about them. Some places, they're right out in the open. They're way forward. And thank God we don't have that. But here they're more, they hide in the background more. What if they were way out in the open? What if they were operating like that? What would you do? So now these creatures, this problem with the partitions, and Micah knows exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, no, New Orleans? Oh, hell yeah. I lived there for a while. It's all voodoo everywhere. And they syncretize with Catholic saints. All their gods are syncretized to Catholic saints. So you can go in and it'll look Catholic as anything, look like they're highly religious Catholic. They're voodoo. That's a voodoo altar. It'll look like it's a Christian altar. It's a voodoo altar. And voodoo's everywhere. When I went to, remember, I was living pretty much and working pretty much right in the French Quarter, right in the epicenter. Yeah, Ben will tell you about it. He's Cajun. They know about it, all about it. So, yeah, it's a big deal down there. Very big deal. And it's another one of the things where everybody just acts like, oh, everything's normal. But if you mention voodoo or hoodoo, they'll know. Exactly, everybody will know exactly what you're talking about. It's extremely pervasive. Yeah, everywhere ain't what you think, what you're used to. Well, you know what? It can be a nasty. It can be a very fun place. Yeah. What? You still have the attack? You have maybe another one because we got rid of that first one. You know what? But you probably do have another. I think you have another one. I got rid of the one. It's gone. This has got to be another one. Okay, we're going to have to take care of this. Ah, Drake, you live 20 minutes south of New Orleans in the swamp, so you know exactly what we're talking about. Your back is hurting as well. I think you've got a rip somewhere. This is what I'm trying to talk about. We've got some big problems. And this is why I think we're seeing the weird cryptids. And I mean, some of you who go to Paranormal Portal know that we've had a bunch of weird cryptid activity. We're seeing cryptids, we're seeing all kinds of crap that we haven't seen before. And the shamans are seeing things in the astral that they haven't seen before. Because the barriers that divide things are very leaky right now. And it's letting things in and probably out too. I mean, chances are some of the missing, chances are we're missing some stuff and it's running around over in their realm making havoc, because anything that's out of place is probably going to cause trouble. Hey, Lollipop. Yeah, we heard you had a hot date. Was it a hot date? Was it hot? Was it really hot? Do tell. Yeah. So, Micah, see if there is a rupture somewhere. If so, we're going to need to sew it up so she doesn't get any more of this. Because I got rid of the first one. I know I did. By the way, the guy you want to call on for help his name is, you can call him as either St. Francis of Assisi, or you can call him as Lord Kuthumi. And he takes care of errant creatures, animals, and gets them back home. Whereas if you have a child, something to do with child spirit, Maynard takes care of that. Yeah, the fabric between the barriers got ripped. Yep. But it's patched though. So you patched it? When, just now or before? Oh, tall, hairy lady was looking for you. Barry's got a hot squatch chick. Barry's looking for some action with those hot squatch buns. Okay, so you're saying, it's been patched up so often. Yeah. My back is always bothering me. But I have had that since I had my accident. It's just gotten worse with time. So, okay, we're going to have to straighten that out. Yeah, Micah, you and me and Maria are going to have to straighten that out. I don't know that we can do it in this circle. I don't know how you guys feel. You guys feel okay? I'm going to, like I said, in future, this is going to be just informational. We're not going to have the ceremonies. We're going to have the ceremonies in another channel, because just to keep it private, so we're not getting ourselves in trouble. And you're going to have to be kind of invited to be able to come to a ceremony, because just letting you know, it will happen that way eventually. Yes. Marie, we're gonna, I think Micah and I are gonna help you, but privately this time. I don't want anybody getting themselves in any kind of trouble. I don't want any newbies, anybody who's new for this, to get themselves in any kind of trouble. I will, though, still, you know what, I'm still going to smudge. Okay. The fire has a lot of red and purple in it tonight. I don't know if you can see that. Do you want to come in here and talk about it, Drake? Yeah, I know, Pappy. That's what I'm trying to say is we've got to be a little more careful. There are people who are new. There are people who are not well. We should be very careful. Two in the house. Okay. And we're going to have to deal with that. Yeah, and I care about you guys. So I would love to teach you so much stuff, but you got to do this safely. I don't want to see anything happen to you. Two white wolves? Well, maybe it's your name. Drake. We're going to have to start calling you two white wolves. I understand, Barry. We're not going to do any ceremony tonight. Yes. Just stand by the fire. I'm going to put up the protection anyway, just in case. Okay, Barry. Nice to see you. I'd say if you got two white wolves, that's usually a good thing. Okay, let me at least put the protections over. And everybody, you know the drill. Put your copper bubble up, put your silver bubble on, put your gold bubble on, and shake it all about. Do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Brought whiskey. We need to be a little more lighthearted. That's another thing too. I have said this before. These things that come in from other places, they often, now you have to be able to tell the difference. Some things are evil. Some things are evil. They really are there just to cause trouble. Other things are just misplaced, and they cause trouble because they're in the wrong place and the energy's wrong for where they are. And it causes a lot of trouble because the vibration is wrong. They're terrified, so they're sending out a fear vibration. Oh, whiskey and Coke. Yum. Drake, they're there protecting you. Well, there you go, Micah. That sounds like a party. Yeah, they're definitely your protectors. I would feel exactly. Since they're not looking at you, they're looking outward. They've come to protect you. Now, I should say, for those of you who weren't here, we had a very interesting guest, and I think some of it might be due to Pappy Two Bear's influence, because he talks about the dog soldiers, but we actually had Anubis show up, Anubis. But he says his name Anubis, not Anubis. See, I was used to hearing it Anubis, but he was trying to say Anubis. And I was trying to hear it, and I couldn't quite get it. It's like, oh, Anubis. He is looking out for us now. So we have some rather powerful protection. He's one of the ancient Egyptian gods, and he's a funerary god. But apparently, and he came in the form of a really tall black wolf, entirely black, and sort of a humanoid wolf figure, but very striking figure. Not wearing the Egyptian clothing though. Yeah. Yeah. So we do have Anubis to call on. He's said that he would protect us. So if you're seeing dogs, wolves, something like that, it's probably him. And that makes me feel better. At least we're on good terms with somebody who's probably got a lot more information than we do on this. And one of the actual somebody who's probably, gosh, since he was around anciently, he probably knows so much that we need to know. Now you see, I asked him because they had portrayed him in art as and have described him as jackal-headed and like a dog, and some have said more like a wolf. I asked him point blank, I said, what are you more actually like? Are you more of a jackal or a dog or a wolf? How should I think of you? And he said wolf. Now it's interesting because I don't think wolves really are they really common to Egypt? But see, just whether they were or not does not really mean that he couldn't be a wolf, because remember at one time there was this worldwide civilization that was very advanced. Oh, those are spirit wolves that are there to protect you. Yeah, so he said that more like a wolf. I believe they are a separate race, a separate species. They are some kind of canine species, more like a wolf, closer to a wolf, he said, which is interesting because in the Native American way of looking at it, the wolves are teachers. So he was a big, muscly, all black canine humanoid, and very tall, like not like 10 plus feet. And um, the fur was longer and thicker around the shoulders and chest area, mostly. And the muscles and the fur bristled out a little bit more around that area, and it narrowed out at the hips as he stood there. And his face was, yeah, definitely closer to a wolf. To me, looked closer to a wolf, but really, probably none of those. He's probably their own species of canid, because they're not they're not really any of those things. They're a canid. They're a canid humanoid species. So really, Circle K. Why can't we talk to a deity? Why can't we say, I don't know about summoning, but why can't we just say, hey, Anubis, how you doing? So you got into a fight with Anubis. How in the heck did you get into a fight with Anubis? Oh, it was a woman. Oh, great. Well, I'm glad, Marie. At least when I go to the Egyptian gods at the weighing of the heart ceremony, when they ask, "Have you brought joy to others?" I will be sure to say yes. Hi, Kirkle. Yeah, the idea of summoning. Yeah, I wouldn't call it summoning. I wouldn't call what I do ever summoning. I would call it I call on them. I say, hey, St. Francis of Assisi, we got a stray here. Can you help out? Just as you would a friend. You know, I mean, that's more what it's like. And now that Annabis is here, it's like, Annabis, would you mind? You know, you just be polite. You just talk to them. They can hear you. You don't have to call anybody anywhere, really. They can hear you wherever you are. What if we're all deities? Remember, I told you you were divine. You're divine. I hate to tell you again, but you're divine. Many things the good guys would have you speak to them as equals and as friends, with respect, of course, but not as power over us or power under. Most things want you to look them in the eye and treat them like friends, people you know, comrades, associates. Well, that's interesting. You came back as a lion. The divine whiskey holder. Yeah, multifaceted of our higher self. Really, okay, and I wanted to say that too, is because when I've been told, like I stated one time, I've been told I'm forever. I'm not gonna just what that means is, okay, not as this personality. There will come a time when this Abby, I won't need it. And I'm not this Abby. And I'm not this personality. It's like a character in a game, literally. I am eternal because I am part of the stream of eternal consciousness. And therefore, I will always exist, because that which has no beginning cannot have an end. And that which was never created can never be destroyed. And the consciousness has always been. Therefore, I'll always be here in some way. I'll always be around in some way. Just not probably like this. I mean, there will be places where you'll see me and you'll recognize me, and places where it might take you quite a bit of time to recognize. You might not recognize me at all, but I'll be around. Yes. I really, I'm not worried about it. I know I have other lives that I'm leading concurrently. I have a family back home, and this is something that Micah brought up to me that I should say again. Remember, this is a school. This is a massively multiplayer, total immersion, learning game matrix. And Earth is part of that. And she is an organism, as well as being her body is more like a mechanism. And I almost have the feeling that she is kind of more like a ship. Like she is the consciousness flying the ship that you're talking to, but this body of hers, this earth body, is more like a ship, uh, which would be a highly, highly like an evolved machine. Because what I remember is our ships are always alive. They're always powered by a consciousness. That's what powers them. It's not, your ship isn't really separate from yourself. And that's how to picture it, is that you can become the ship. It's part of you. And I think that that is what's going on with Mother Earth, is this is, it is part of her, but it is a body that she's using just like we're using these bodies. And it has systems just like we have systems. It has systems that if you can learn to use them, you can do all kinds of things. You can affect the weather. You can cause things to grow. You can cause things to appear and disappear. This is another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is, and I would like your opinions on this, is the Mandela effect. When we talk about the Mandela effect and things changing and so on, so many people say, it's like it wants me to notice it. I think we need to tell our, if you have a personal Mandela effect, I want to hear about it. I'm going to put out the link so that you can come in and tell us about it. Hi, Linda. Hello, sweetheart. It's a rabbit hole. It is indeed, Lisa. But if you have a Mandela effect that happened to you in particular, tell me your favorite Mandela effects, because honestly, I've got a few, and they seem to be happening more often. The latest one, and it's small stuff, it's just inconsequential stuff, but it's like it wants you to notice it. I'll start with the last one and go backwards. This last one, so I'm sitting trying to make myself a sandwich. I go to the fridge, pull myself out a loaf of bread, and I have 2 loaves of bread because I go and I get discount bread from Acme a lot of times. And so I had 2 loaves of discount bread. One was this stuff called English muffin, English muffin bread, right? And another called cracked wheat. So I really like the cracked wheat for sandwiches. So I pulled out what I was thinking. I reached for and pulled out the cracked wheat, right? And I go over and I set it on the counter. And I take off the white twist tie off of the end, you know, like a twist tie. And they put on the end of bread and to close it up. And then I pick up the loaf of bread and I reach in and I pull out a completely white slice of bread. And I'm like, well, wait a minute here. That's not right. Did I pick up the wrong loaf? It was a loaf of the other bread. And I'm there going, oh, that is really weird. So I put that down, look for the white twist tie, and it's now a red twist tie. And then when I look at the loaf, it's the cracked wheat loaf again. And I'm like, no, wait. Yeah, I think so too, Circle K. If we knew everything that was going on. Yeah, you know what, Mary? I did too. For a long time when I was a kid, I kept saying to myself, it's got to be different this time. It's got to be different this time. I don't, I would have these dreams too, these precog dreams, and it was way too many. It was like it was always what was going on the next day, and it got to where I wouldn't know whether it was really the next day or whether I was dreaming. And so I would change things to make sure I was actually in reality. Yeah, auto-incorrect. You just love it. Yeah, my autocorrect is usually high on something. I don't know what, but it's got a bad problem. Some of the stuff it comes up with is funny, but still, it just more often than not ruins all my jokes and makes people wonder what the hell I'm talking about. But oh my gosh, though, really, to me, you know, that wasn't a big thing. Like, you know, this is not a world shaking thing. Having the loaf of bread that you're going to have your sandwich on change in front of you, though, is a little disconcerting. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You know, um, the other thing, okay, so another one, I think I talked about it before. And I'm going to say, one of the questions I'm going to ask is, why do you think it wants us to notice? I think it did this, it was like it wanted me to notice. Yeah, well, you're moving from one frame to another. You're moving from one, yes. That's what, well, that, according to Bashar, we're in a different place every time we make a decision. We're putting ourselves in a different version of reality. And that's what I think it's trying to get us to. What if we're trying to show ourselves, hey, this is what's really happening, okay? Because I was thinking of this story that I heard about a guy who wanted to test this. And he was thinking about it, and he was thinking, well, so basically he says the apple on the counter is not as the same as the apple in my hand. Well, how do I know that? And so this guy said he picks up a brand new fresh apple and then looks at it in his hand, and it's all shriveled and obviously old, like it's been there a long time. And it's like, it was very obviously not the apple that was laying on the counter. It wasn't even quite the same color. And he's like, okay, that's really weird. But it was an illustration that this is not the same. So basically, why are we trying to get our own attention here? To prove to ourselves that this is not the final reality, that this is, and that it can be changed. And we can change it. I mean, if we could imagine or deal with it being even more different, it would be. We keep choosing something very similar to the reality we're already in, then it's going to look cohesive. If we start choosing realities that are far different, then we're going to be in a different one. So we're going to start to get more and more away from the one that we're in. So, or that we were in. So, to me, maybe we're trying to wake ourselves up and say, hey, by the way, you're in a matrix, and every button you press, every time you press an option, you're in a different part of the game, Paleo medic. Yeah. I don't know. Speculation on what this is. But another one, like the pancake mix. It's a simple thing. It's not a big earth-shaking thing. But having pancake mix, I put a pancake mix on the shelf, and this lady picks up the same exact box, and it's a different box, and shows it to me. It's a different box. And who was this woman? Because I had been passing her in every aisle that I went down, every other aisle, I'd see her, and we would kind of be in each other's way, and I kept saying, oh, pardon me, sorry, and she'd say, oh, it's okay. And then finally, when I was looking at the pancake mix, she drops the same pancake mix that was in the same box, but it's a different box. And I'm like, it has different instructions and stuff on it. And I'm like, okay, this is really weird. So for any of you who think just because an election went a certain way, that, oh no, we're heading down some dark path, we can change this anyway. I mean, this is not something that we have to. No, I'm keep getting told we're still on a positive timeline, no matter what it looks like. So we don't really have to worry about that. We're going to be fine. But, whew, doggone. See, now I'm starting to get the yawns. But we can change it. I mean, we change things all the time, collectively and individually. I mean, there was another time that I was testing it. You don't believe it. You can try testing it out. See if I would like to see if what happens to you when you try it. Say, well, I would like to see that. I would like to know that it is really a different thing, and see what happens to you. If things change, then because I remember this lady, I was watching something, and she was saying that her cable changed on her, the color of the cable. because I guess in California they were always yellow and her cable became white. And then I was trying to remember what color my cable was on mine. It got me to thinking, what color is my Ethernet cable? Because she was saying they're always a certain color, and it's either yellow or white. But in California, they're always white, I believe she was saying. But then she looks at hers and it's yellow. And according to everybody, they've always been yellow. Well, she was in a different version of California. So I got to looking at mine, and I saw it between the computer, hanging in the back between the computer and the tower case. And it looked yellow. And I thought, ours are yellow, I guess. But then I had to do something, and I had to disconnect it, or no, not disconnect it, but right, I had to disconnect something else on the computer. I went around to the back of the computer, and the sucker was white. And I'm noticing the sucker was white, and I'm like, I just looked at this thing, it was yellow. Okay, wait a minute here. So I go around to the front, and now it's yellow. And I'm like, okay, wait, now that can't be. And so I go around to the back, and it played with me for a while. It was going between yellow and white. And then once it was yellow on one side and white on the other. And then finally, it resolved to white in the middle and yellow on both ends. I'm like, what the? Well, it was showing me it's not the same cable. It changed. So, no more Rockstar, Linda? What? Somebody was drinking Rockstar? No, she didn't have long hair. She was just an older lady with a typical curly-haired older lady. Kind of thin. Nothing very outstanding about her. Wow, I don't drink rock stars anymore. They have too much weird stuff in them. I used to drink them. Why did you ask, Circle K? What did you think was you? Was it you? Maybe, but no. It was strange because, like I said, we kept bumping into each other. We kept like being in each other's way. Oh, pardon me. Here you can look. Oh, that's okay. And then when she finally comes by and picks that up and puts it in my hand, I'm like, what? Because it had changed from a regular pancake mix to a complete mix, which is what I'd been looking for. And she said, oh, here's one. This is the one my kids like. So, what? You handed somebody a pancake mix that was a complete pancake mix? Even if she didn't have long hair, it still might have been some version of you. I don't know. Yeah, energy drinks, I get sick from them. I can't drink them. If I have too much, and I used to love them, certain monster ones, but yeah, they do weird. I can't say exactly sick, but they do weird things to me. I got to be careful of Red Bull. I don't exactly get sick. I get weird. It gets weird. It feels weird. I used to get some that was really, I can't remember the flavor, but I used to have a favorite Monster beverage. And it was a Monster Java. That's right. It was a Monster Java. It was one of the Monster Javas I really liked. But the ingredients are not really good for you, so I stay away from them now. Yeah, it's like, well, all of the food, the cleaner your diet becomes, the less you are able to tolerate crap food, okay, junk in your food. And unfortunately, that keeps some people from going on with it because I gotta say, I can't eat it at McDonald's anymore without getting sick. It's one of the things you get some benefits out of it. You get all of these spiritual benefits out of having a cleaner diet, but then your body no longer wants to accept the crap anymore. A coffee snob. You know what, Lisa? If you love coffee, I have got to tell you, the 7-in-1 mushroom coffee off of Amazon is so good. It's so good. Oh my goodness, is it good? It's so good, but I'll tell you, I have gotten to the point where I only drink 1 cup of coffee now, and that's the cup I drink, is that kind. Because it's so satisfying, it's enough. And it makes me feel so much better. Oh, I understand. I'm just saying, you might love this stuff. If you love good coffee, this stuff is so good that if there's 1 sip left and somebody takes it and throws it away, I'm upset. And McDonald's is horrible. It's like now that I've been away from it, it's horrible. I used to love it as a kid. Oh, the mud drink. Well, one of my favorite drinks is a mudslide, Mississippi mudslide. I love those things. Oh, you know what? My mother did too. That was her favorite. But they're not good for you. I think it contributed to her getting Alzheimer's. Yeah, the chicken burgers. My mother, when she got involved with this church group, she was meeting with them at McDonald's. She was going to McDonald's to eat all the time, and she went downhill fast. Yeah, trying to find anything that's actual food. Ooh, that sounds good. Masala chai with cinnamon, mushrooms, and other stuff. Oh, that sounds very good. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing is McDonald's was entirely different when I was a kid. everything has changed. All their stuff has changed. You know what? I gotta say though, my cooking, I cook pretty good. So I'm fortunate. I can make really good food. So tonight, oh my gosh, tonight I had forgotten that I knew how to make it. It's a hamburger helper thing, but I was making it from scratch. No hamburger helper. It's cheesy um, beef and noodles. But I made the scratch version and it was so good. Wonderful. So tasty that, just I had to force myself to put some aside and put it away and not eat the whole darn thing at one sitting. Because I really made it for a couple of meals, enough for a couple of meals. And I'm like, no, you are not going to pig out on this lovely stuff here, on this wonderful stuff. But I'm a pretty good cook. I can make some pretty doggone good meals. Well, anyway, it looks like Micah is helping out Marie Bond. So, yes, Micah, have some sleep. Yeah. And you guys, if you can get some sleep, honestly. Stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too, Pappy Two Bears, is why am I clogging up my organs, my filtering organs? For what? Convenience? It wasn't really hard to make. It wasn't hard to make. It's almost as easy to make the real stuff as it is to make the helper. So why not just make the real stuff? I mean, actually, the real stuff is tastier than the fake packaged stuff. Even mine is better than theirs. So heck with that. I'm gonna make my good stuff. There's an art to all of this. But here, there's another thing too. There are different levels to this. Matt Monarch, he owns a health food, raw foods, and all that. He does the whole raw food thing. I know people who do the whole raw food vegan thing. They absolutely cannot touch meat without getting real sick. They love the effects, but they can't. And then a lot of times they keep needing to cut out different foods that are a little bit more heavy. And, so they find their body wants less dense food. So they keep having to cut out things in order to feel good. So it is kind of a two-edged sword. You want to stay in balance. I mean, it'd be wonderful to have a perfect, healthy diet, but then that means if you're ever in a position where you can't get that, you're not going to be wanting to eat because you will be sick as a dog. So there's kind of a balance there that you need. Yet I would say if you wanna be a happy person, you're happier making your own fresh food. Really, you're gonna make your body happier with your own fresh food by your own hands. You know what's in it. You're not guessing what additives they put in it. I'm definitely a periphery shopper. I have a couple of box mix things just in case, like for fast, but I don't hardly ever use them. You know, I wouldn't be using them on it. I don't use them on. Oh dear, I don't use them on any kind of regular basis. I even have a couple of ramen soups up there for if I really get stuck for something and I don't have anything on the shelves and I want something fast. I have a couple of ramen soups, but I don't eat those regularly either. You know, they're not really very good for you. You know what? I love Asian food and I don't know how to make it very well. I don't make it very well. I wish I did. I love Asian food. And then I love, what I have learned to cook is I know a lot of Southern types, you know, family type food. You know, my staples tend to be cabbage. I make cabbage with, now the Polish call it haluski. Cabbage with noodles and smoked sausage or kielbasa. That's one. I have that all the time. I have that at least once a week. Then I make chili and I make pot roast and I'll make something like fish and chips and I'll make something like sometimes I'll have a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich. And I mean, you know, stuff like that. I just make really like very simple. And then maybe a salad. You know, sometimes I'll have steak over salad or something like that. It's all pretty simple stuff. It isn't a elaborate thing. Sometimes I just have, you know, throw it together goulash. Yep, Linda. Yeah, homemade goulash, which is whatever you got around left over and put it in there and it's good. Yeah, soy, you know what? Stay away from soy. Soy isn't good for you. A lot of vegans, they try to have this soy and it really isn't good for you. Really, really not. Oh yeah, the sauces, gosh, yes. I love teriyaki sauce. So it had like a teriyaki kind of sauce. Yeah, I hate it. Sometimes you move and you can't get the same food. Isn't it annoying? You don't know how to make it and you can't get that flavor anymore. It's real annoying. There was a pizza place that we used to always go, and they even had a branch when I was going to college. They had a branch of it in my college. I loved this pizza. We all loved this pizza. When they went out, we never got a pizza that tasted like that again. It was so annoying. There was another place around here called Taco Tano's, and they made wonderful burritos. I wasn't much for the tacos, but I love their burrito. Everybody loved their burritos. Trying to duplicate the burritos is almost impossible. And you can't get them anymore. They're so you know, I really miss these wonderful burritos, you know. Well, soy is bad unless it's if you have it in something like soy sauce where it's been fermented, it's okay. But yeah, soy just in general isn't that great for you. It really isn't. So, you know, and honestly, it's mostly eaten in Asia. It was mostly eaten fermented. is what I hear. And then we decided we were going to try and do things differently later on. But yeah, soy you got to be careful with. It's just not that great. There are people who think soy is great and can't hurt anybody. It's like, I hate to tell you, but especially if you're a man, stay away from soy as much as possible. I will not touch it unless it's like soy sauce or something. I've had a little. I'll have a little bit of tofu once in a great while. But by and large, I don't want anything to do with it. Yeah, I like soy sauce. That I'll use, but that's fermented. Oh, you might be going to see that. Or you might just, or maybe it changed. Maybe we're Mandela affected. Yeah, we've got to be really careful. Every single one of us has some. I want to reiterate this. Every single one of us has some things that we're going to need help with. And I don't want you to hesitate to tell us that you've got a need and you need help and ask for help. Okay? That's what we're doing for each other. We need to help each other. But also, I find there's recovery time. All of us, after we do a healing, we need to recover. So, and especially we got to be careful, like Pappy says, if you're already having the effects of something and then you try to do a healing on somebody else, it can really take you down. So you have to kind of balance it out. I have to be to a certain level before I try that. Under a certain level and I'm there, I'm even with your help, it's hard. Because a lot of times when I'm not feeling 100%, I'm kind of relying on the rest of the circle to fill it in. But I have to be careful because it can still take me down if I'm not feeling good. So this can't happen every single time. We need more people who are like us so that we can look out for each other better, so that there is more avenues available of help. And also because, the channel growing is a good thing. That's why I'm splitting it up, is putting the private stuff on another channel so that we can not worry about it and then grow this one. Yeah, grapes, dark fruit, purple fruit. Yeah, you know what? I do too. And I find that my most of my favorite stuff is purple, 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 purple. In general. But yeah, I'll go through days, I'll go through weeks, I'll go through months sometimes when a particular kind of food is everything, like there was this point at which I was buying chicken salad every week from this one place. I wanted that stuff every week, and then I just suddenly stopped wanting it. It was weird. And I'll cycle through like that. And then there was another point at which I was getting pineapple I had to have a pineapple every time I saw one. It's like I had to have a pineapple, and it's like, no, I don't have to have a pineapple. And I had to have grapes for a while, and now I don't have to have grapes. It's just, it changes. For a long, long time now, I've wanted beef and not much chicken. Chicken doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, sometimes just greens. Like, I don't have any, I realized I don't have any greens right now. And it's like, ah, and I've got to wait because I got to wait for a ride to get me out to the grocery store. So I have to wait probably till at least Friday. Plus, I'm all out of, I'm over budget. Oh, hey, Doran. God, I haven't seen you in a dog's age. How are you doing? Now that you're the source. I did tell you that at one time there was another organization called The Source in Cuyahoga Falls, right? And we worked with them. Is that weird? Oh, I'm doing great. As you can see, I got my stream finally. I got a really good crew here. This is the crew of the Woo ship. This is the crew of the good ship Woo right here. This is my Woo crew. I'm doing great. Now that I've moved, and I'm doing way better. I'm doing way, way better. This place is great. It's been great for me. I'm still trying to recover from the other place, though. It's only been about a year, and I'm trying to recover. Yeah. So a lot of people thought of that, the source, but hey. So it's nice seeing you. So what are you doing these days? Still doing the organizing thing? Maybe you'll be organizing something for me one day. That's right. And then there was us. Folks, this is Doran, my partner from a while back. We had kind of a spiritual partnership, and it was quite interesting. We did a lot of stuff. Produce packing and delivering. Well, isn't that interesting? That's cool because, yeah, we were just talking about food and the difference it makes in your vibration. Clean food is going to help you eat better, is feel better. Oh, Heather. Yeah. What about Heather? Oh, yeah. Okay, Circle K, take care. Yeah, metaphysical gatherings. Yeah. Heather is still around from time to time. She went through a lot of stuff, though. She asked about you. I said I hadn't heard from you in a dog's age. Yeah, I see Heather sometimes. Sometimes. When I see her, she asks about you. She just went through a whole thing. Boy, if I were to tell you about it, I don't know how much she'd want me to tell you, but she went through some stuff. Cool. Yeah, we did. We would have had a little bit more time and energy to do that. I miss having a garden. I am in a nice place, real nice place, but I don't have a garden here. But I have a really nice place, so I'm not that happy. Yeah. Oh, is Max on now? You know, if Max is on, I want to go over and check out Max's channel too. The aliens at the bar, that was fun. I missed the karaoke. Yeah, we sure did. Yep, we did. We rocked this town. I'm still in Kent. I'm on the edges. I'm on the outskirts. Yeah, I'll get ready to turn this down and go on over to Max's for a little bit too. I hang out at Max's too. Okay. See, Maria's gone. It's about time to shut down and go visit our other friends. But Doran, get in touch with me. I'm trying to remember who I am on MeWe. Get yourself on MeWe. That's where the rest of us are. MeWe.com. What is my name on MeWe, guys? I forget. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I on MeWe? I don't know who I am. I'm not sure what my name is, but I know if you download MeWe and find Ohio Woo Crew, that's my group. Ground control to Major Tom. Yeah, notification. Oh, I'm Diane Swagger on YouTube. Oh, that's easy. I mean on MeWe. Okay. Well, Doran, just look up Diane Swagger on MeWe.com and send me a friend. I'll friend you. We'll get you plugged in here. Where are you? Are you still on in Hawaii? Thank you, Pam. Pam is the administrator there. She'll make sure that Doran Cuddish is allowed in there. Right. Make sure that if he wants to come into the Woo Crew, that he can come in. And Doran will make sure that you are welcome. This is a different group, though. You've got to realize a lot of things have happened since you saw me. I almost died last year. I was on death's door last year. If I hadn't moved, I wouldn't still be here. Yeah. I got a very strong message that if I didn't move, I was going to go out feet first out of that place. So we managed to move heaven and earth and get me to a much nicer place, but it really was an effort. And I'm glad I did, though, because now I can stream and a whole bunch of things have changed, so it's good. So I will see you, and we will have to talk. And then once we're friends, I'll give you my phone number, and we can talk on the phone, okay? Yeah, we can catch up. Catch up. I'll relish the chance to catch up. Okay, I'm going to close it down. I love you guys. Remember, the truth is where you find it. This is Ocean Making Waves. Now go make some of your own. Love you guys, and see you the next time. Oh, Max Vision. I don't have it either. I have it on my list of, okay. Oh, Pam has got it. Okay, cool. Okay, see you. See you soon.